I look away?
Where was the warning sign? Hey guys, welcome back to
Lifestyle
of
the
Plebe
Plebe
and
and
Nameless. I'm Joan,
And I'm Coco.
and today we will be doing a review of Bridgerton.
It's my rewatch, but it's her first time watching Bridgerton.
I normally don't watch American or English shows. I'm more of a K-drama person, but I heard it was like the hottest show on Netflix in 2020.
And I recommended this show to her. Season 2 is coming out on March 25th, so make sure you subscribe to get our reactions for each of those episodes when they come out.
Let's jump right in. In this video, we will be talking about episodes 1, 2, and 3. The setting of Bridgerton is set in 1813 in Mayfair, London, and it takes place during the Regency period. It focuses on the season in which the high-class society, they meet up and have basically a marriage market.
Yeah, it's their dating time.
And all the mamas out there are looking for their son-in-laws. The story starts out with introducing all of the families, most importantly the Bridgerton family, and they're known for all of these beautiful children. And I was surprised to see how many of them there were in her family.
There were like 9?
Yes.
Was it? I lost count. And then you get introduced to the Featheringtons, who are pretty much the antithesis of the Bridgerton family. Especially, you can tell in the costumes, they're much more vibrant and out there.
The lady, she's all about yellow colors. She comes out looking like a peacock all the time.
And she only has daughters, and all of them are out this season. Her older daughters, they've been through several seasons of coming out, and they still haven't found their man. So
The pressure is high.
it's not looking so good for her.
Especially whenever Marina Thompson, whenever she walks in, everyone just looks at her and be like, wow, she's beautiful.
She is. So right away, you can tell this is not your typical period drama because you see a butt. Like, you never see that in these kinds of shows. I mean, what did you think, Joe, when you first saw that? Do I look away?
Where was the warning sign?
I didn't give her any warnings. I just told her, you need to watch this. But I did tell her, this is not a show to watch with your mother.
It was definitely a more steamy show than I was expecting.
For sure.
We come to the debut of all of the daughters coming to the queen. It was so fun to see all of her Pomeranians. They were so cute.
I do love that they have people of color in the show.
Yes.
That's so refreshing and much needed.
I read that it plays a thing off of Queen Charlotte's, her true ethnicity, or there was some debate on whether she has like an African ancestry.
And I also love that they don't even mention it. Like, it's not even a thing.
You just go in and be like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be.
And this is how it should have always been. You see Daphne coming into her debut, and this is the moment she's been waiting for her entire life.
You know, I was so surprised how excited she was for it.
Basically, for a woman, their whole life is reduced to this single moment. One chance to make your debut and to make a good impression with the queen, because her favor means everything. And we see when Daphne walks in, the queen perks up, and she's like, oh, this one is a beauty. I'm interested in her.
Flawless.
She instantly becomes the talk of the town, and she wins the curiosity of Lady Whistledown.
A journalist.
Is that what you call her?
I mean, modern day.
I think she's just like the town gossip.
Everyone reads her.
Especially the queen. Because you see in the bath scene of the queen, she's like, just give me that paper. I don't even care if I'm butt naked.
I need to read it now. At the very first ball that Daphne attends, she is escorted by her oldest brother, Anthony, but he's not making her plans easy. He basically pushes everyone away, be like, no, not him.
Yeah, and you can see Daphne start getting annoyed.
At first, he seems like he's a really good older brother. He's looking out for her future and all. But he's very double standard too, because all of those guys are his friends. They like gamble or they go look for prostitutes and all. The very things that he does himself.
The only one she ends up talking to is Lord Barbroke.
Oh my god. He's a old, nasty pervert.
He just comes off with like dirty vibes.
And Daphne's just so annoyed. In a haste, she hurries up and tries to like run away from him. And there she bumps into
The Duke. He's so handsome.
Yes, he is.
And all the mamas in the room are like after him.
I mean, why would you want Lord Berbrooke type people if you have a duke in front of you? That looks amazing. See, at first I didn't like him.
Yeah, he came out kind of cocky.
Yes. It gave me like Pride and Prejudice vibes though.
It does.
But it turns out that the Duke of Hastings, he is Anthony, her oldest brother's best friend.
As soon as he finds out who Daphne is, he's like, oh, okay. Maybe I shouldn't have acted that way with her.
Daphne was originally predicted to be the most popular girl.
Lady Whistledown called her Diamond of the First Water.
So she was going to be like the most sought after. But because her brother blocked all her suitors away, she had nobody come to her. Was it the calling room or the waiting room or the drawing room? One of those.
I don't know. I can't keep up with all their rooms. And you can see Marina get so many callers. And poor Daphne.
She keeps on waiting and waiting and nobody comes.
Even the ones that do come, the brother just gets in between. So finally at the end of the day, Lord Berbrooke comes. And it was funny how Eloise hung on to her sister. Like, trying to protect her. She knows, like, she does not want to be talking to this guy. And her mom just shoos her away. Like, get out.
The mother eventually gets really mad at Anthony. And she tells him, like, yo, you need to take up the responsibility that you were bestowed upon.
You need to decide if you want to act like the older brother or do you want to act like her father.
I don't know what got into his head, but he thinks that Lord Berbrooke's okay now.
Yeah, he's like, he checks out. You can go with him. And I'm like, are you serious? No, that is not what your mother was trying to tell you.
So we come to the next ball, the outdoor one, with all of the lanterns that they lit up. But here comes Lord Berbrooke, and he has an encounter with Daphne.
Dark walk, I think
The dark
they called
walk,
it.
yeah.
That's so weird.
And Lord Berbrooke trying to get close to Daphne.
Trying to take advantage of her. And the Duke sees it. He started, like, coming to her help.
But she took action before he got there.
Yeah, she punches him.
She punched a little too hard and knocked him out.
That's fine. I didn't mind. He deserved it.
Oh yeah, he did.
So then Simon and Daphne, they start talking about each of their problems. Like, Daphne really wants to find a husband, and Simon wants to get all the mamas off of his back. So they come up with this scheme.
That if they pretend to be a couple and get the attention of Lady Whistledown, then it will seem as if Simon already has found a girl that he likes. So all the mamas would get off of his back. And then Daphne would again become the most sought after jewel.
Which I didn't understand, because why is it opposite for a guy versus a girl? Like, when a guy finds a girl, then everyone backs off. But then when a girl finds a guy, then all the guys supposedly come swarming?
Mm-hmm.
That's so opposite.
But maybe because Bridgerton, their title is not as elite as the Duke's title. Like, oh, if this is something that the Duke wants, then everybody wants it.
Okay, like, they showing respect for the Duke. Whereas for Daphne, it's like, oh, well, it's not over till she says I do. So I can still go after her.
Or maybe, like, all the guys want something that they can't get, you know?
That is true. Guys want that.
If it's too easy or too available, they're like, oh, I'm cool. They walk out into the dance floor.
That was so
And they
pretty.
dance,
With all the
yes.
fireworks going off.
So princess-like, you know?
Yes.
So, man, the next day, Lady Whistledown knows about this, and the word goes out.
And everyone's reading all the gossip.
And they're having fun with this, too.
She goes, you must send me flowers.
Expensive ones.
They do negotiate, like, okay, how are we going to do this? How many balls are you going to come to?
And I think through this process, they become really good friends.
And you know, that's like one of my fantasies. I always love movies that the guy and the girl pretend like they're a couple and they go to a wedding or something where they pretend like they're together. And then they always end up together. That's just how it always ends up. But I love it.
It's so tropey, though.
Very much. But it's my favorite trope.
From there, we kind of find out about the Duke's background.
And we find out why he doesn't want to get married. All Simon's father ever cared about was continuing his dukedom. So he needed an heir. But then he finds out that Simon can't speak properly. So to him, he's like, well, I can't have him representing our family. Like, that doesn't look good.
His father just deemed him, like, useless.
And he casted him out of the family.
It was Lady Danbury that took him in and taught him how to speak. She's one of my favorite characters.
I know, I really like Lady Danbury. And she's, like, so quick with everything. She doesn't let anything get past her.
Basically, Simon tells his dad on his deathbed, as part of his revenge, he will end the dukedom.
So he'll never marry and he'll never have an heir. And his father, like, pretty much has a heart attack and dies right there.
Yes.
The Featheringtons, the girls, they're trying to figure out what's the deal with Marina. And they guess that she's pregnant, which is correct. And the mother tells them, stop talking about that because the condition is catching. And this throws them all off guard, like, oh my god.
Like I'm gonna get it too?
Penelope goes and tells Eloise, like, I know someone who's pregnant and they're not married. And Eloise is like, what?
How does that happen?
You gotta go find out more.
So that it doesn't happen to us.
Yeah. And we see her bursting into the drawing room of her house and she just exclaims to everyone, how does a lady become with child? And you can see her brothers like snickering and her mom is horrified, like, oh my god, like we're not talking about this right now.
She's like, come on, you guys know, and asks her brothers, and her mom's like, you better not tell her.
And the brother is like, oh, I gotta go play with my sticks. That was so funny.
It just shows how mothers during that period really shielded their children away, giving knowledge about sex education.
But only their daughters. Like their sons, they learn about all kinds of stuff.
Well, they probably learned it on their own.
But it's so unfair how the guys, they can just go and be with whatever girl they feel like, whereas the girls, they can't even look at a guy a certain way, or they get talked about and gossip. It's just so unfair. We see at one point the Duke ends up educating Daphne.
Oh yeah.
On the bridge scene.
That was weird.
She's like, no, I want to know. And he's like, okay, well then, I guess I'll tell you.
I loved how Marina, whenever Penelope asked her, how did this situation happen? And she said, it's because of love.
Yeah. And well, first she said cake.
Oh yeah, cake. But
throughout the show, you can really get a sense of duty someone has versus what they want in life. And you can see that with Eloise and with Benedict. Like Eloise, she doesn't want this whole married life sort of thing. She wants to go get education and she wants to make something of herself.
And she's very jealous of her brother Benedict.
Yeah.
How he likes to draw and he can just do what he wishes to do. And Benedict kind of complains that he likes drawing but he feels like he's not good at it. And she's like, you're a man. If you want something, just go ahead and pursue it and make yourself better.
Exactly. Like a man has options, but for a woman, they don't.
We see that Daphne, she has a lot of more suitors coming for her and asking for her hand in marriage.
Yeah, their plan is definitely working.
But she keeps on rejecting them one after the other. In a way, I feel like she's waiting for the Duke.
I think subconsciously she was, because nobody has been good enough for her. Even though she's had like 3 proposals. And you see that scene where they were at the ice cream shop? And she's just watching Simon eat ice cream. And you can tell she wants to be the spoon. She wants to be that spoon.
What the heck?
That is what she was thinking. Like, oh my god, he looks so hot eating that ice cream.
Okay.
And I don't disagree. The waitress comes in and brings some food and snaps her out of it.
Her mom was waiting for the Duke to ask her out too.
Yeah, she's like, why are you even entertaining these other guys when you have the Duke right there? Of course, the queen wants to set up her own nephew with the most suitable girl of the season.
So at the ball, Daphne, of course, catches the attention of Prince Friedrich.
He starts talking to her and all Daphne is doing is looking out for the Duke.
I know.
She's like, where is he?
She didn't even pay attention to the prince.
No, she didn't even do like a fake swoon like Cressida.
Yeah. Lady Danbury, she is tired of waiting, so she tells the Duke that, yo, if you're not into Daphne, don't like waste her time. Either make her move now or let her go and set her free so she can be with the prince.
Exactly. It's only fair. I agree with Lady Danbury. So the Duke breaks it off with her, and Daphne is very distraught.
Yeah, because he literally ruined her innocence last minute.
I wouldn't call it that.
She just got more interested in him.
Oh, yeah.
And now he called it off. And she's like, what?
So she does the ultimate move that every girl does when a guy breaks off with you.
You find a new guy.
And you make sure you look amazing.
She put on like the best gown, the finest jewelry, put on the perfect
best
hairstyle.
tiara.
Yep.
She looks so good. And then Duke sees her. He's like, oh.
And she does the thing where she, like, opens up her fan and she accidentally drops it and the prince, like, picks it up for her.
And everyone in the room could tell that was such a fake.
Simon sees her too, right?
And walks up like he knows that was fake.
But what can he do? He's the one that rejected her.
Exactly.
And that's where we come to an end on episode 3.
What did you think so far of Bridgerton?
It does remind me a little bit of K-drama, just with the setup of the characters, how like they initially meet and they don't like each other, and then they pretend to be like a couple for each other's own aspirations. It's very tropey. Hey, like we're just gonna do this, but don't fall in love with me.
One word that describes Bridgerton.
Colorful.
To me, sublime. I'm just transported to a whole different world when I watch it. That's what I love about the show.
I really like the music in there. Even though it's a lot of modern music and they made it like classical, you don't feel like it's out of place. You just feel like, oh yeah, it just belongs there.
What do you think of dating back then? Like, do you think dating was easier back then versus now?
In a way, I felt like it was more convenient because you have this scheduled time where everyone's out there looking. Yeah. So it's like there's a market for it already. But it's not as easy because you had to stay within that class. You couldn't look outside of that class.
I feel like it's easier back then because, like you said, you have set protocols. And then the guys, they make their intentions so clear. Like, you're not just guessing. Like, oh, he didn't text me. What does that mean? Or, he said this. What does that mean? Like, they literally bring you gifts. They bring you puppies and flowers, and they write you poems. So you know that they're interested. You're not, like, wondering at all.
Right. But the question is, do they go to multiple houses?
They might. But hey, whoever says yes first.
Who is your favorite character?
Probably Eloise.
Eloise.
I really like her spunk. Like, you can tell she's definitely not following all the protocols. She's even smoking. So I was like, who's smoking? And it turns out to be Eloise. And I also like the way she dresses, like with her bows right here. Mm-hmm. It's not like the typical Regency style dress where your like boobs are hanging out.
In a way, like she wants to be out there, just try to be different from everyone else.
Yeah, she wants her own life. She doesn't want a life that's already dictated for her.
I found it interesting whenever Daphne was playing the piano and she kept on asking her like, why are you practicing it? Is it an original piece? And she kept on wanting her to name it. Back then, women, they weren't looked at as an individual. They were pretty much still like property. So maybe her wanting Daphne to like name that song that she created to kind of have a sense of ownership over something.
Oh, I see. Then who is your favorite character?
My favorite character is Penelope. She's such a sweet girl, and in the beginning she got teased on by her sisters that, oh, she's like a little bit chubby. But I think she's the cutest character ever. I liked how she was like, maybe I want to sit out this season so I could tend to my studies. Yeah. And she's just very polite. I loved her trying to help Marina Thompson look for letters whenever they come in. And I totally ship her with Colin.
Yes, me too.
I ship them more than I ship the main couple. Because they're just so cute.
They are, and she's so, like, timid. Like, you know, she's scared to make a move.
He was interested in Marina at first, but during that ball where the other girls, they came by her because she was talking to Colin, they, like, accidentally spilled a drink on her.
Yeah, so mean.
That was so mean. And the girls are like, oh, well, looks like Penelope can't dance with you.
And he's like, no, she is dancing with me.
And that was
she was so happy. Like, that made her night.
That was, like, one of my favorite scenes.
Oh. She actually wore my favorite dress out of the episode so far.
Really?
It was that pink dress while they were all at the park during the daytime.
I liked her pink one more than the yellow one that her mama likes.
Her mama just has terrible taste. I mean, could that be why the guys aren't going after the girls?
It's definitely because of the color.
It's not doing them any favors. Since it's your first time watching this, who do you think Lady Whistledown is?
I think Lady Whistledown is Lady Danbury.
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
They did try to guess that in the show, some of the characters.
It just seems like it has to come from someone who's very educated and like very witted in writing and knows all of the gossip that goes around.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell her yes or no.
But I think it's her.
All right.
And I really love Lady Danbury. I think she's so awesome.
She's like the HBIC of the show. I mean, yes, there's the queen, but Lady Danbury got it.
If you stayed with us till this point, be sure to leave us a crown emoji because at this point of the show, it's all eyes on Prince Friedrich to woo Daphne. If you liked our video today, give us a thumbs up.
And if you want to see more reaction and review of Bridgerton, definitely subscribe to our channel because we will be finishing our recap of season 1 and jumping into season 2 when it premieres.
And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you get the latest video updates from our channel.
Follow us on Instagram at PLEB and Nameless. We have lots of exclusive content for you there.
Thanks for watching. See you next time on Lifestyle of the Plebe and Nameless. Bye.